Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next lesson in the Su-25T Cadet Series. This time we're going to take a look at the unguided bombs delivery and employment. I have 4 250 kilogram bombs on my left side and 4 more on my right side. There are two ways to employ unguided bombs. That is CCIP, continuously calculated impact point. That is, put the sight on the target and press the trigger and stuff goes boom. The other way is CCRP, continuously computed or calculated. Calculated and computed is the same, so continuous calculated release point. That is, you fly straight and level, just like the old-fashioned bombers did, and then the system will drop the bomb for you. When to use CCIP versus CCRP? CCIP is much more precise and accurate, and it is used against enemies that has only weak or almost none air defenses. You use CCRP when you want to maintain a safe distance to enemy air defenses or to the target. The CCRP is less precise, but often it is very much precise enough, but it is not quite as precise as CCIP. The best way to employ CCIP is in a dive. The deep or the sharper dive you can maintain, the better, because the wiggle room is much less within the CEP, circular area probability. And we had a lesson about what that is in a previous lesson. To set up your bomb, you have this panel down here. You have two dials. The left dial here tells you is where you can change the interval, but due to a 10-year-old bug in DCS, the intervals 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4 do not work. Enough about that. Therefore, you have only the first one, salp, which means salvo. When your settings are on that, it means you'll drop all selected bombs practically simultaneously when you press the trigger. The last one, Serie GU MBD, is designed for the cluster canisters. But if you select that, you'll get a tiny delay. That is actually very good to cover a enemy convoy. To the right, you have the weapon station selector. You have number 1 here. That means one single bomb in total will drop with each press. Next one is number 2, and that means one bomb from each wing. In total, 2 bombs will drop. Number 4 is 2 bombs from each wing. In total, 4 will drop. And last one, VC, means all. All selected bomb will drop immediately. So, if you have, let's say, the selector on the salp and VC, and you have 4 bombs, so that means that all 8 bombs of mine will drop immediately, or practically immediately, when I press the trigger. That is very good to cover, to completely saturate a target, let's say a compound or a building or anything. So it is very important to note that if you have the selector on just one single bomb in total, and you have, let's say, 500 kilogram bombs on your wings, if I drop one single bomb from my left wing, suddenly my right wing becomes 500 kilograms heavier. That will induce a right row, and let's say you're diving towards the target, you drop one single bomb from my left wing, egress to the right, not only does the 500 kilograms extra on my right wing roll me to the right, but also I do it by the flight stick. So suddenly there is a very high momentum on my right roll. I need to be aware of that. Otherwise you could risk over rolling and almost go inverted and into the ground. So please be aware of that. That is why I only very rarely use that option. I always use 2 bombs in total, 1 from each wing. How do I change those settings? To the interval you use ripple interval, and to the quantity ripple quantity, or SPPU select. These bombs are 250 kilograms and they are effective against main battle tanks, buildings and everything below that. So, a multi-purpose Swiss Army knife bomb. I'm right now 17.3 kilometers away from the target area, and I want to go to air-to-ground mode, turn on my squall, slow down to my target area, spot my victim, and I see that line is tanks and this line is APCs. I'm gonna attack the APCs first, because then I will also get the infantry. I lock that target, and KC means I'm ground stabilized and not locked on a target. Only when we change to AC do I have actual lock. So I'm slowly climbing, so I'm able to maintain or able to perform a dive, steep dive towards my target area. I have selected my bombs, and as we saw in the symbology lesson, right now my bombs will not drop where my pepper is. Only when I have the aiming line or sighting line will the bomb drop and hit where my pepper is. And for that line to appear, I need to be closer to the ground and at a much steeper angle. So, target is now locked, 7.1 kilometers away. And wait until I'm at 5 kilometers. You can either roll inverted or just nose down. I need to quickly select at Salp, it is, and I'm changing my target to the tanks and release. And I'm slowly egressing to not overspeed. 2 bombs were dropped on that, and 1 tank is dead. Let's go for a more shallow dive on the APCs. Still with the same bomb settings. Two kilometers up. And I see the convoy rolling in. You can use the laser if you want to. It is not necessary, and as you saw, the accuracy is fine without that. I want to accelerate a bit. There's the aim line, and whoop. Splash. So now we're going to try the CCRP. the level bombing method. Before, when I changed, when I just clicked to drop a bomb, I now need to press and hold my key of the trigger. There is no CCIP or CCRP button on the aircraft or setting. It is just whether or not you press and hold or just press. If you just press, as we did here, you are dropping the bomb in CCIP. If you press and hold, you are marking a CCRP target. So less instrument, less contact, less switches, and less stuff to remember. That makes it simple, and simple stuff is good stuff. So what I'm going to do now is to move in, and I use my aiming pivot at the bottom now, put that on the target, and press and hold. If you're off, just release it. Press and hold. Now, if you look at, let's turn off the circle at the top or above my aircraft symbol has a dot in it. It is very important now that I keep the vertical line. I need to use my left hand for this. My aircraft symbol is wings and rudder. The top of the rudder. It is very important now that I maintain the top of the rudder, the end of that line, exactly on that dot. That dot indicates my steering cue, where I need to go to make sure that the bomb drops on the target. So now I'm flying according to that dot. It is very important to keep it on that dot. On your left side, the range scale is now a time scale. The 10 second at the top is 10, or the 10 is 10 seconds. Next line is 8, 6, 4, and 2. At 2 seconds, a doot will appear. That warns you that there's 2 seconds until automatic bomb release. When that happens, 2 bombs, or according to your settings, will drop, and you can release the trigger. And if you, let's say, miss the target, or you regret, just release the trigger. That cancels out and reset the CCRP targeting. So now I need to maintain that row up there. 2 bombs drop. Let's take a look. Boom. Almost perfectly on target. Let's try that one more time. And this time we're gonna use the squall to help us. We're gonna accelerate, not that much. Turn on our squall. We need just bit of room and a bit of time, and heading back towards the target. All the way back. I will find my target. The best way is to fly the paper into the general area, then press ground block, and then slew over to the target. Target's there. Now I just place my aiming paper exactly on top of the scroll paper. Press and hold and fly towards or according to the steering circle. Release. Now let's see how we use the word. See, there was a slight delay, but it was a perfect hit. But a slight delay. It is very important to not think about dump bombs as laser bombs without lasers. There is a certain degree of tolerances and errors and so on. So that is how you employ unguided bombs. Now let's try for something funny, a bit funny. Let's quit and fly again. And then we're gonna set the settings for SALP. That means all. And we're gonna use a VC. So now all bombs, all 8 bombs will drop practically simultaneously when I press the trigger. And I'm gonna find my target using the squall. Let's go for the infantry. When you release several bombs, it is best to select the target just slightly slightly before, because that way you are ensured that you get a good coverage of the target. So trying to get the aiming paper perfectly aligned. That was almost perfectly aligned. Now I just have to fly according to steering cue. 8 seconds, 6 seconds. All bombs drop. Let's take a look. See, all bombs drop practically simultaneously. That is, all 8 bombs is going to impact very close to each other. Oh yeah, then one more demonstration. Let's say put it on COMGU, NBD and VC, and let's see how that goes. For some reason there is a bug in that, because sometimes it drops the bomb with a slight delay, sometimes it doesn't. These settings in DCS world is very unstable, very weird. True. Now all selected bombs, all 8 bombs, will drop on the COMGU share COMGU NBD settings. So let's see how that will turn out. Autopilot off. Find my target. Flying toward the steering cue, according to the steering cue. 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. See, all bombs are dropped in the exact same way. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. although there was a slight delay, perhaps a half a second delay. But now we know how to employ unguided bombs in CCIP and CCRP. Thank you.